the paintings on people's foreheads. I'll not go into it. Sorry, right now, because you can go back and watch the second video. I'll link to it below. But I just found this interesting when I came across another video by Tex Mars. He's talking about the same thing. Now he has done a series called Satan in the Vatican. Tex is quite an opinionated man. I'm not really going to get into the debate on the Catholics and Protestants, not at this stage anyway. But he's talking about I think it's Pope John Paul receiving the V mark on his forehead, and I wasn't aware of this until I watched this video. I'll just play, as always, a small segment, then we'll take it from there.
Of the Hindus is yet another thing. And in this shocking, absolutely shocking and disgusting photo, when he visited Bombay in India, John Paul II received what I believe is the mark of the beast in his forehead. That's right, they put some of that Hindu paste. You've probably seen it on many Hindu gurus, and the women's right at their forehead over the third eye, according to the New Age movement. And there is the Pope willingly accepting this mark of Shiva, the Hindu god, in his forehead. My friends, if you know about the mark of the beast, this is quite scary. By the way, this was reported in the London Times, 4/24/98, reported in the Liberator newspaper, March-June 98, page 4, goes on and on. Now, this Pope is...
Right, so there you have it. Another interesting twist in this investigation. So now the next two clips. First part is from a pastor from America, from Indiana, named Paul Begley, and the second clip it's about the Mother Earth symbol. So as always, after you watch this video, please leave any comments or questions, and I'd appreciate it if you give it a vote up. I've been watching a video by an American pastor. His name is Paul Begley. I've watched a few of his videos lately, and I think that he's a pretty good preacher. He says a lot of good things. I mean, I don't agree with absolutely everything that he says, but I think he's on the level. Basically, he's released a couple of videos. I'm not sure how old they are, but it's from a vision that he received from the Lord, or so he says, back in 1994. It was a dream about the end times and Revelation, and basically he had a dream about the tribulation times at the end of time, which is coming up very soon. So he says that the Lord revealed to him a vision about this time. He's released this in two videos. I'm just going to play a segment from the second video, which is about 3 minutes in, which is 13 minutes into the vision overall. I'll leave the link underneath the video description in case you want to watch the entire thing. But basically, so far, he's saying that in the end times, the Chinese take over along with radical Islam, and they are running the New World Order, basically. This is what he's saying. This is the vision or dream that I had from the Lord. And he's saying that there is no rapture. Christians have to live through the tribulation like everybody else, and Christians will be rounded up and put into work camps by the Chinese. And I thought this was pretty interesting. I will play a minute or so of this, and then I'll get to my point.
Get to Arizona or New Mexico, wherever it is out west, we're then separated. We're separated. We're put into different camps.
He's talking about he got separated from his wife and family at this point.
I don't know where the women went. I don't know where the children went. I just know I was put in with a bunch of guys in this prison encampment, and our job was to sort the garbage. Literally millions, I mean millions of containers of garbage from all over the country were being brought to this area, and they were worshiping Mother Earth. So part of the philosophy of this end time was this Mother Earth worship. And I'm all for taking care of the environment. I'm all for cleanliness and let's take care of our planet. But I mean, this was a worship, and so everything was being recycled. And guess who did the recycling? The Christians. And that's what we were doing.
Right. So basically, it's saying that Christians were put into these camps because they refused, basically, to take the mark of the beast, and there is no rapture. I mean, on a personal note, in regards to the rapture, if you've heard about this before, it's an interpretation of the Holy Bible, which says that in the tribulation period, Christians will be taken up to meet Jesus in the air before it all starts. Now, on a personal level, I don't think there's enough information to say that there is or isn't. If you are a Christian, I'd say just trust in Jesus, basically. If you're not a Christian, then I would, look into the Bible, and find out about all this for yourself. Look into Jesus, read the Gospels, and I think this is a side issue that seasoned Christians are pretty much interested in. It's debatable, but anyway, he's saying there is no rapture, and Christians are going to live through this. And he's saying the philosophy of the end times, by the Chinese at least, is the worship of this so-called Mother Earth. Now, if you search in Google I've searched in Google here, Holy Earth symbol, and this is what you get straight away. There's a symbol here, it's like a cross, a plus sign, with 4 dots. I'll click on this one. When it loads, right, here we go. The website I got this from is, there we go, you can see the URL there. I mean, I've always suspected that, environmentalism to its extreme is a form of belief and religion, and some people take it too far. I mean, like Paul just said, we're all up for keeping the environment tidy and so forth. You don't want to drop litter on the floor, but one thing holding that belief, it's a whole different matter having a philosophy where you're like worshipping this so-called Mother Earth. There is no Mother Earth. Earth is what God created. And here there's the symbol called Holy Earth symbol. And again, there's a plus sign with 4 dots. Now, what I find interesting, if I go back to the original, what I think could be the mark of the beast, this symbol here, this V mark with a dot, the whole symbol is like made up of 4 V marks with 4 dots, if you look. And I just thought that was an interesting connection to make. Make of it what you will, and the investigation continues. Right. I started watching the Alex Jones channel on YouTube more than a month ago now. And if you don't know anything about Alex Jones, he is the investigator reporter who runs InfoWars and PrisonPlanet.com, and he does videos and he exposes lies in the media.
Police on him.
Well,
If you see a car,
he exposes lies in the media, and he sits down. He's got a radio show as well. I haven't listened to the radio. I've just watched quite a lot of his videos, and I do trust the man. He exposes a lot of stuff. He's not a conspiracy nut, as a lot of people would brand him. I just think he does a good job in exposing the lies what are out there in the media. Although a lot of his information is about America. I live here in England, in the UK, but I still find the stories about America and what goes on over there relevant. And basically, last year, this is a video from, it's called Alex Jones Kicks Off V for Victory campaign in the face of global tyranny. This is the link. I'll put it in the bottom as well, in the description. And basically, he's talking about a campaign that he launched last year called V for Victory. And it was a set of posters with a big V sign on. And I just found it quite interesting that I'm thinking that the V is the mark of the beast symbol. And here we have a man who's actually aware of the RFID chip stories that are coming to light and have been coming to light for many years now. I'll just put the volume on this part here. Now we're running up to 5 minutes and play it for a minute.
And of course, I'm familiar with it as well. Most of you are, about the French resistance peacefully showing solidarity, and that the people knew that they were occupied all over Germany, putting, V's on walls, V's on Nazi vehicles, posters hung everywhere, scratching them on the side of, barroom tables. And it really began to bring down the Germans in France even before the D-Day invasion and liberation. America is occupied by outside banking cartels. And we are writing articles explaining that. I'm going to produce videos breaking that down, tied to the V symbol that we're going to post and show you right now for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers. But the article is up on Infowars.com right now, and we'll put that article up on screen and also show you these Vs that Phil and I put together last night and gave to Watson this morning. The article is, "You Are the Resistance Against the DHS Occupation of America." And it's a big V. Black Vs, white Vs, red Vs. Pick whichever one you want.
Right, I'll just stop it there. If you want to watch the entire video, again, I'll leave the link. So basically, this is the first time I've seen the V symbol, which is, it's not the first time I've come across the fact that the V symbol is used as a symbol of victory. It's used in sport. I think I've seen people do the V sign with their fingers, even at this 2012 Olympics that has just taken place and finished. So anyway, I just thought it was interesting that not only could this symbol be the mark of the beast, I just find it interesting it's also being used as a symbol which is the opposite of that, to stand against it. I think that Infowars.com, they do a good job of doing what they do and exposing things. I mean, they may not be right on everything, but if you watch a few of their videos, you'll get an idea of what they are about, and, the real stories that you need to be aware of aren't on, CNN. They aren't on Sky News, on the BBC, on Fox News. I would say, to get your real information, go onto YouTube, and this is one of the many sources that you could go to get such information about what's going on in the world. I mean, another good one that I've been watching recently as well is the RT channel, Russia Today. I mean, obviously it's not perfect. It has had some accusations of being biased, regarding Russian stories, but I just think that overall, if you watch RT channel as well, Russia Today, it's also got a lot of it's got relevant stories, about global stories, nothing that's too localized, and you get an idea of the bigger picture about what's going on in the world. Right, to save myself from babbling on too further, the conclusion of what I'm trying to say in this is, I don't know. The only thing I can say about it is I just think it's interesting that this V symbol is being used on posters. When I don't think that Infowars are trying to condition people to have this V as though they're part of, the end campaign to bring out the mark of the beast. No, I'd say that they're pretty much against it. But I just thought it was interesting. That's my point. I just think it is interesting and noteworthy. And I'll come back to this later on in the series, probably, if I do try and tie it in with anything else. And even if there's nothing in this, there's nothing in the fact that the Infowars campaign uses a V. If there's nothing in it, I just think it's it's just good to tell you about watching InfoWars in the first place. I just think it's a good source of information about world